Hello everyone, this is Soulful and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's get into it today. I want to talk with you about how to stop trying to control your creative process and to create instead. So let's get started. A lot of times, and I've been an artist since I was 9 years old. I've been drawing, I've been sketching, painting, doing things for my entire life. And a lot of times I went through stages where I was trying to really control whatever it was that I created. And depending on what kind of person you are, you might find that often you will be trying to control other things in your life as well. If you're the kind of person who likes to keep things under control and under wraps too much, this doesn't work very well with a creative process. This doesn't mean that you can't have some kind of rules to set for yourself when you're creating or when you're in the process. It's good to have some kind of guidelines, especially if you're like me. I have a tendency to jump around when I'm creating from one thing to another, and this can look like I'm not really getting much done, So sometimes I do need rules. Sometimes I do need something to follow. It's not the most important thing to me, but I used to be someone who thought that I needed to control a lot of things, and this was definitely in my nature, especially when I was younger. And a few years ago, I didn't allow things to just flow, and it's very important to allow things to flow, especially when you're in a creative process, when you're making something. So how do you give into the process? Really stopping trying to control it to gross degrees, and it's not worth it. It stops you from allowing that passion to come out of you. If you're really trying to control everything that you do things on your own time, do things when you want to do them. The more you try to control it in a way that's unhealthy, then there's no flow. It's more, the creative process is a lot more like, it's like an alchemy. You've got a fire and water that you're trying to go between both of these to keep that passion in check, but also allow it to flow. So it can seem difficult for some people. And if you want your creative energy to be free, you have to have freedom to understand what actual freedom really means to yourself. If you don't really know what that means internally, then I suggest definitely diving deep within yourself and figuring out what freedom really means to you in your process of creating, of being a creator, whatever it is. And okay, this one is really important, is just allow yourself to just mess up. Okay, you're gonna mess up. It doesn't matter. No one's perfect. No one has the perfect formula for you. And it's all about trial and error and trying things. You can find as many guides as you can online and learn from other people, have mentors who teach you, but in the process, in your own process, is where you're really going to figure out where your true flow resides, where you really can access your own passion, and if that is your full life's goal. If it's something that you really want, you cannot control it. Let it go. Surrender and let it flow. It's how we interact with with the universe, how the universe interacts with us. The more we allow a flow to happen, the more we can connect with our passions. Now, I'm not saying don't find a way to be grounded in your passions. Definitely, if you need that, it's really important to access those elements. For those closest to me, I'm definitely into astrology, and I've been studying it for quite some time. And now this might sound a bit out there, but I highly suggest for people to figure out their natal chart, to go within that and, talk to an astrologer if you're interested, and study astrology and figure out your weaknesses. I don't want to go too deep into it, but figure out your weaknesses, your strengths, possibly what kind of person you truly are lined out in the stars. Because I found that the more I study my own natal chart, the more I really understand my own creative process. I am a Pisces sun, a Capricorn moon, but I also, my chart is dominated by fire. It's dominated by Aries. So even though I might be a Pisces sun, a lot of my passion is fiery. A lot of the way that I do things has more of that emotional element, and it has a lot to do with the houses and everything. Okay, there's more to the chart, but if you uncover that, you can really see, oh, this is my weakness. This is where I need to improve upon. This is what other aspects of myself elementally that I can grasp onto that will help me in my process. This will really, really help you. And seriously, there is no point in trying to control the flow to really gross degrees, because you're just stopping yourself. And I've learned in my own life that when I try to control everything, or people try to control me, it never works that way, or I end up burning out, or they end up burning out, or something along those lines. So if we think back to what I was saying a minute ago about the astrological thing, the astrological chart, and figuring out where your placements are, you can really discover whether or not you're accessing a flow in a proper manner when you're creating. So this can be a part of your process. So this will help you learn to stop trying to control it in one way and learn to begin to create it in the way that's proper for your alignment, proper for you. Now, I'm not saying that astrology is for everyone, okay, or that that's going to be the number one thing that helps you, but it might. Even if you just read up a little bit about it, you can learn how to stop controlling it in the wrong way and figure out your pitfalls, so you can then start creating it. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning back into Soulful Artist.